This week, we're beginning a new study called The Joy of Faithfulness. As a matter of fact, we're going to have 10 lessons on this subject. We're going to be looking at the book of 1 John. Thank you for joining us for this, Your Daily 180. We so much appreciate you being part of this study, and we appreciate you sharing this with your friends as well. If you're on Facebook, we hope you'll click that share button. If you're watching us for the very first time, we hope you'll go to our Facebook page, Your Daily 180, and click on the like button, join the page so that you'll see these updates on a regular basis. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and send this to your friends as well. Why are we calling this the joy of faithfulness? Well, look at verse number 4 of chapter number 1. In 1 John chapter 1, verse 4, John would write, "And these things we write to you, that your joy may be full." Everybody wants joy. Everybody wants happiness. Everybody wants the kind of happiness that's not contingent upon the circumstances of life. Because the reality is, not everything goes the way we want them. Sometimes the doctor tells us something we don't want to hear. Sometimes the boss tells us something we don't want to hear. Sometimes a spouse may tell us something we don't want to hear, or maybe children. But our happiness does not need to be contingent upon everything falling into place. And in this study, we're going to be looking at this idea. Now, John mentions some other reasons why he wrote the book, but I believe they all tie back to this idea that if we do these things, we'll have full joy. Look at chapter 2, verse number 1. "My little children, these things I write to you so that you may not sin." You want to talk about something that steals joy. It's sin. Sin destroys happiness. And then in chapter 2, verse number 26, "These things I have written to you concerning those who try to deceive you." You see, the reality is there are some people out there that are going to tell you lies and say this is where happiness is. No, they don't know what they're talking about. And then in chapter 5, verse number 13, John would say, "These things I've written to you who believe in the name of the Son of God, that you may know that you have eternal life." You see, we can have great assurance, we can have great confidence, and we can know that we are right with God. I hope you'll join us for all these studies from 1 John. Thank you for being with us, and join us again tomorrow.